So November, Thanksgiving, since she remembers what date it was that you finally had a blow up, was Thanksgiving Day. That's the end of November. So you have December, January, February, March, April, May, and you moved out when in June?
June 1st.
6 months rent. And the rent was $750?
That's right.
Now, I suppose if I asked you whether you had any proof that you paid rent after starting in December, you would say I did not pay rent.
I can say that, yes.
Okay, so you did not pay rent. So now you're going to show me, I assume, consistent with what your position was, all the paid bills that you paid in December for gas, electric, and cable.
Correct.
Okay, let's start with December.
And on there, it looks like I just paid the energy bill for that month.
So you paid only energy bills the month of December?
For that specific
Just
month.
a second. So that somebody else had to pay the cable, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you get no credit for that. Great. Now, what about January?
January of 2016, I have a check stub here that I wrote to Ryan for $375, including some grocery bills that I can prove.
I'd like to see that. Did you receive any rent? This is all crossed out. This is all crossed. This is not a check.
It's the carbon copy of the check, Your Honor.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't at all. It's a carbon copy of nothing. It's a carbon copy of something that you wrote yesterday. What's next? February.
Okay, well, I have a carbon copy also for $375 that I wrote to Ryan.
That you wrote yesterday. Go ahead. I want to see a canceled check. You know what a canceled check is from a bank?
I do not.
How old are you?
32.
Well, if you're 32 years old, you should know what a canceled check is from a bank. Go.
Is that the same
Next.
as a voided
Next.
check? Okay.
Next. What you say, actually, Miss Anderson, is so totally unbelievable because your whole case was that you never paid your half of the rent because that was your agreement. Your agreement was he paid all of the rent and you paid the rest of the bills. So now I'm asking you to show me the bills that you paid. January, February, March, April, and May. The other bills. So far you have nothing because you paid one electric bill for December, but then he had to cover the other utilities. And he also paid the rent, which you did not. So let's move on.
For February and March, I actually do have some proof here that I did pay for the gas and the electricity bills.
And what about the cable?
Cable.
It's not an answer. You don't have, so he paid the cable.
Your Honor, can I say something?
No, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Not necessary. You paid the gas and the electric, so he paid the cable. So you didn't fulfill your end of the obligation.
Correct.
What's next? March, April, May. Let's go.
I have a lot of carbon copies of the checks that apparently aren't working here. So I don't know. I mean,
so
can
all
I
of a
explain
sudden,
myself?
let me understand something.
Yeah.
So almost 3 years you lived together, pursuant to an arrangement that you testified to earlier, where he paid all of the rent, because that's what it also says in your answer, and you paid the utility bills. Then you had a big fight in November. Neither one of you wanted to move. It was clearly a hostile environment, right? And then you decided to pay your half of the rent.
Yeah.
Is that what you want me to believe?
Some months I did, some months I didn't.
No, but you have carbon copies for every month. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $22.50. We're done.
Officer, excuse me, step out.
How was I supposed to make her leave?
If he had a problem with me not paying rent, I don't understand why he's suing me now.
Am I supposed to evict my own ex-girlfriend from the lease?
I brought a guy that I was seeing at the time over.
It's a very rude thing to do.
That was the trigger point for him to sue me.